Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give it a few moments to see if anybody is able to come on live. You know the drill. See if Facebook can notify you guys. When you come in, say hi. You watch the replay, say hi. I'll give it a moment for my dog to stop barking. Hang on 1 second. Let me just I'm going to go put her away really quick. I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay. So sorry about that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So, like I said, if you, when you hop in, say hi. If you're watching the replay, say hey. I just love to connect with each and every one of you who is watching this series and going along with this free program we have for the whole month of August. All right, an entire month of understanding the subconscious mind, and this is something that I am really into teaching about. This is a big part of my offers, is understanding and working with the power of your subconscious mind. So I just want to begin by just speaking about this week that I've just experienced. As you guys know, I lost my dog. He unexpectedly decided to leave his body and go on to his next level. And my business partner decided to also take a step back and leave the business. So there's a lot going on. And I thoroughly am allowing myself to feel all the feelings, to feel all the grief and everything that needs to really move through me. But I'm also choosing to continue to live my heart wide open, weaving soul into all of my experiences and choosing to still see heaven on earth, which is such a beautiful gift of the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is the space where God is able to really work through us. And now feel free to put in here Mother God, Goddess, Buddha, Jesus, Source, whatever it is that you enjoy calling God, the Creator, the higher power. This is where they're able to really work through us. Because the subconscious mind is the space of infinite riches, unconditional love, and where your dream life can all exist. Because when I think about God working through me, I think about limitless potential. I think about expansion. I think about having, doing, and being anything that I desire. And maybe you can, if you feel like it, in the comments below, I would love if you could maybe describe to me how you feel when God works through you. What does that mean to you? If God or universe, whatever, working through you, what does that mean for you? Tell me in the comments below. So a little bit about my story and about why I am so obsessed with working with the subconscious mind. So since day one that I started my business back in August of 2016, I have been obsessed with the law of attraction, manifesting, things like that. And I would live and breathe all of the books, all of the content, just really trying to understand the law of attraction and manifesting. And it's this whole idea of acting as if and, being the embodiment of it now. So meaning if you wanted to attract abundance, then you needed to feel abundant. And that can be really difficult if you really don't know how it feels to be abundant. If you if you have never experienced abundance before, how can you act as if you are abundant, right? And so I constantly was like in this battle with myself, and it was very exhausting, and I threw the towel in multiple times, and just but I kept coming back to this idea of law of attraction and manifesting. No matter how many times it would exhaust me, I kept coming back to it. And so I began to shift my perspective and how I was choosing to learn it and embody it in my life. And that is when I stumbled upon the work of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is all about acting as if you're living as your future self now. And somehow this really clicked for me. And it's what I began to teach in my classes, in my one-on-one, in my membership, all of it, of how to just really live as your future self. And so it's all about, who it is that you want to be, how do you want to feel, and beginning to be it right now. Because you literally cannot create your desired future by living in the same past. Does that make sense? And what I mean by this is we can't create something brand new for ourselves if we're waking up every single day with the same habits, with the same thoughts. 95% of our life, by the time we're 35 years old, if we don't call back in our power, by the time we're 35, 95% of our life is completely unconscious. And we have like thousands of thoughts every single day, and the majority of those thoughts are repetitive. And unfortunately, majority of those repetitive thoughts are very negative thoughts. So if we're having those same exact negative thoughts day in and day out, the same limiting beliefs, the same patterns, the same behaviors, is going to continue to create the same exact future. And so that's where I was misaligning. That's where the ends weren't matching up. It's because I kept trying to act as if I was super abundant and I was a successful business owner, but I was still having the same thoughts, the same habits, the same behaviors, day in and day out. And it wasn't until I began to really think about, okay, who is it that I want to be? How does she feel every day? What is she doing every day? And began to consciously line up all of my habits, thoughts, behaviors with that desired future, that everything came flooding in. It's the most amazing experience I've ever had. And I know my clients definitely have the same experiences, where you are really truly able to just drop all that force, all that struggle, all the work that's involved with like this idea of law of attraction, manifesting, and instead choose to play more, choose to have more pleasure, more freedom, more joy in your life, and watch it all line up for you. It's law. It's literally universal law, and it's meant to be easy, and it's meant to be fun and free. So that's my story. And if you guys have similar experiences, please post them in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear them. And now let me make this really clear as well. This is not spiritual bypassing, okay? A lot of this work, Catherine says, is it too late for a 55-year-old to change the habit thoughts? Absolutely not, Catherine. Absolutely not. Oh my goodness, you're in for quite the adventure, and I really hope that you continue on for this whole month. Really work through it, and I have other offers as well, memberships, one-on-one, for you to continue, but absolutely not. You have all the power within you. Okay, that's the beauty of the subconscious mind, is it's not something that you have to go out and get. It's literally something that you've always had within you. You just have to understand how to turn it on, and it's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this free program. Oh yeah, Leah, I can add her. I think you can add her, actually. I would have to be friends with her on Facebook in order to add her. But I think that you are able to add her, no problem. Let me know if you can't, okay? So this is not spiritual bypassing. And a lot of the law of attraction and manifesting really does go into a lot of spiritual bypassing. And what I mean by this is like you're only thinking the positive thoughts. So you never have like a negative feeling ever again. And like the negative, heavier emotions are considered bad, but they're not. They're not at all. And in fact, like they're coming up for a reason. So we aren't, when we're working with the subconscious mind, we aren't just thinking positive thoughts. We aren't avoiding traumas and limiting beliefs. And in fact, it's going to be the exact opposite, okay? Because you're literally breaking neurons in your brain, like these neural pathways of the same habitual thoughts over and over again that we've created unconsciously. We're breaking them and creating new pathways in our brain to line up more with that desired future, okay? And so with that, and if you've ever had an addiction to something, like I used to smoke cigarettes. And so when I quit smoking, it was very uncomfortable. And usually we tend to fall back into that addiction because it's so uncomfortable that we fall back into it. The reason it's uncomfortable is because we're breaking those neural pathways. And this is what can happen when we are lining up our thoughts to feel and think differently, okay? It's uncomfortable because you're breaking the addiction of the negative thought patterns and the negative behaviors. We're addicted to those chemical reactions that course through our body. It's not a good addiction. The chemical reactions are not healthy for us, all right? But we will work through it. There will be resistance that comes up. There will be discomfort that comes up. I call them growing pains. We will be going through that all next week together. I'm going to help you work through all of that resistance. So this is not spiritual bypassing. As the limiting beliefs and thought patterns come up, we will work through them. I just love to make that clear because people tend to think this work is all about spiritual bypassing. It is not. We have to work through the traumas. We have to work through the limiting beliefs. Okay. So let me explain to you what it means to understand the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So we have two parts of the mind, subconscious and conscious. A lot of people want to call this feminine, masculine, right side brain, left side brain, okay? But in speaking with what we got going on this month, subconscious and conscious. So the conscious mind is the mind that like we can see everything that's happening around us. It tells the stories. Takes the orders. Gives the orders to the subconscious mind. So I like to think of the conscious mind as being like the captain of the ship. All right. So let me just make this really clear here too that I know nothing about ships. I've only ever seen Titanic. All right. So this is the analogy I'm using to the best of my ability. The conscious mind is the captain of the ship. He is the one who is seeing she is seeing the wide open ocean, is saying full steam ahead. Let's get it moving, right? And gives the orders to the crew. The crew is the subconscious mind. The crew generally works under the deck. So they have no idea what's going on. They can't see. They're just completely trusting in the captain to give the orders. They're trusting in the captain to keep them safe. They don't know that there's icebergs out there. They don't know that they're traveling to danger, right? They're just trusting in it. So they're putting the coal in the stoves and the ovens and they're just following the orders, completely trusting, okay? So whatever the conscious mind is saying, the subconscious mind is going to follow the orders and make sure it comes true. All right. The subconscious mind isn't able to tell you if it's a negative thought or a positive thought, if it's true or false. It just was like, okay, this is truth. I'm going to make it come to life. So what I mean by this is, and I hope I'm explaining this right. And if I'm not, please tell me below. Okay. If your conscious mind, so say one of your biggest dreams is to travel to Bali and like spend a whole month in Bali, all right? That's your dream. But your conscious mind is always saying, we could never afford that. How would that even work? What are we going to do about our house, our pets, our animals? We're just so stuck here. We don't have the money. We don't have the resources, all that stuff. If that's your story, guess what? Your subconscious mind is going to make sure that that's your truth. The subconscious mind is going to make sure that you never have enough money and that it never lines up for you. However, if you choose to truly believe that anything is possible for you through the conscious mind, your subconscious will line up with you and deliver that to you. And now I'm not saying to go out there and just like recklessly spend your money. I'm not saying, just to do like these crazy off the wall things just to prove to your subconscious mind that it's true. But you can choose to think differently and feel differently. What I mean by this too is that, going back to this thought that going to Bali is for a whole month is your absolute dream. Maybe you don't have the funds right now. Maybe it's not easily to do right now, but you can begin to feel into what it would be like to have all that abundance and free time and support to travel there for the month. And just choose for that to be your focus, your feeling. It's an elevated feeling, right? Like knowing that anything is possible for you and, feeling into the abundance that is around you. Even just the abundance of having fresh water coming out of your faucet, right? Like just focusing on what you are abundant in is going to help your subconscious mind to deliver more of that abundance to you. So you change your thoughts, you change your destiny, okay? And I know that might be a lot to like take in right now, but it's just day one. Today, I just want to explain to you what exactly the subconscious mind is so that we can begin to build up to this, build on this. All right. So right now, I want you to choose to believe in the power of your subconscious mind. Are you going to experience miracles and big shifts today? Maybe, but probably not, because for many of us, this is just like the beginning of it, right? Like we're just now understanding what even the subconscious mind even is, taking the orders from the conscious mind, okay? Whatever the conscious mind tells the subconscious mind takes it as truth and seeks to make it your reality, okay? So now that we understand that, let's choose to believe in it. Decide right now that to make your life grander, to make your life greater, to make your life full of abundance, health, joy, and love. Because it's through the wisdom of your subconscious mind that you can attract your soulmate, that it can give you the $1 million idea. It is your right to discover this. It is your right to discover the power of your subconscious mind. This power has always been within you. And like I said earlier, this isn't anything that you have to go out and get. You don't need to search for this. It's something that's always been within your mind, and you just need to choose to turn it on. And it's always been on, right? Like it's been creating your life this entire time, because everything you've been thinking and feeling has been creating your day-to-day life. You just have to choose to believe in it. You have to choose to change your thoughts, which will change your destiny. Okay? So in saying that, how are you going to continue on the rest of this day? And this is the homework for day one, is just begin to notice your thoughts and your feelings. Instead of allowing your mind to just unconsciously run with these programs that you've instilled from society and just from living life. And many of us looking at life as like the glass half empty and looking at the money that we don't have and the bills that are hard to pay and all the things that we don't have. Instead, can you begin to focus on all the things that you do have? All of the abundance you do have, all of the freedom, the joy, the love that is already right here. Just pay attention to your thoughts and your habits. Just notice them. Don't beat yourself up for them. Just notice them. Just simply become aware of how you feel, what you think about when you look at yourself in the mirror, how you feel when you look at your bank account, when you're paying your bills. Just begin to notice and be like, is this for my highest good? Is this creating the life that I want it to be creating for me? Or is this, in fact, creating something that I'm done with experiencing? I'm done with living the same day in and day out, okay? So let's choose together right now, all right? If you are able to say it out loud, repeat after me. And if not, just say it internally. But I want you to feel this in your heart. I want you to believe this. Ready? Anything and everything is available to me through the power of my subconscious mind. I am choosing right now to make my life grander, greater, full of abundance, health, joy, and love. It is through the wisdom of my subconscious mind that I can attract anything and everything that I desire. Okay. So I'm going to leave a few moments open for any questions, if you have any. Let me look back into the comments. Need to do a weekend for some of us older gals. Yeah, like I said, I do this one-on-one. And in fact, I am opened for enrollment for my Call Back Your Power program, which is all about the subconscious mind and experiencing heaven on earth and living with your heart wide open. And that will begin in September. That's offered in 4, 12, or 36 sessions. Also with VIP options. So I can put the link below if you are interested in just scheduling a 20-minute connection call to see if it resonates with you and just to hear about the program. And also, like this whole month, obviously, we're going to really be working through all of these activities with the subconscious. So there's no questions today. Totally fine. So now we have just an understanding of what the subconscious mind is, right? So let me just recap this for a moment. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is what is able to see the experiences around you. The conscious mind delivers information to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind takes whatever the conscious mind says as complete truth and will begin to create it as your reality. No matter what it is you tell the subconscious mind, it will create it as your reality. So we can begin to change the thoughts to change our destiny, because we cannot create our desired future by living in the same exact habits, thoughts, and patterns of the past. We have to change how we're choosing to feel every day. The more elevated we choose to feel, the more the subconscious mind takes that and begins to create that as our reality. I work 16-hour shifts some days. Will I be able to watch you at a later time? Yes, absolutely. All the replays will be up in this group for as long as needed. Okay. So you're going to begin today by just noticing how you're just thinking and feeling each and every day. And again, don't be hard on yourself, please, because you've gone your entire lifetime thus far feeling this particular way. All right. So you're excited, Megs? Yeah, me too. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? This takes time. And like I said, next week we're really going to be working through the resistance and the discomfort of it all, because as we're working through it, as we're choosing an elevated emotion and feeling, all those patterns are going to come up but you've been feeling this way your whole life. You've told this story your whole life, but it can't be true because this is what you've been told. We're going to work through it. We're going to be rewriting that story together. Okay. So just begin to pay attention to it now. Notice how you feel, notice those thoughts, notice those habits and patterns, and let's keep it going. So tomorrow, oh, I'm so glad, feeling more positive already. Yes, 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 so good. I'm really happy that everyone's understanding what I'm saying here, because it can be really in depth. So tomorrow, I just want to talk with you about proof of mental healings. And then the next day, we're going to be talking about different types of mental healings and growth. Because to me, the more we hear about different types and the proof of it all, the more excited we get, the more invested we get in the power of our subconscious mind. Because, yeah, we can all hear me talk about my story and what I experience and what I teach, but to me, I think the more evidence we hear, the more inspired we get, the more positive we get, the more we understand of what is available to us and what we are truly so capable of. And what I want to leave you with right now is just how deeply powerful you truly are. You've always had this power within you, and it's always been on. We're just going to, right now, choose to begin to use it for the highest good, for our highest good, for the highest good of our family, for our loved ones, for the world. All right, dears, this will be up for any replays. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Don't be afraid. There is literally no stupid question. And if you have a question, I'm sure there's other people who also are thinking it as well. So, and if it's more personal, don't be afraid to reach out to me in my instant messenger as well. Okay. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Have a great rest of your day.